Crisis in Sri Lanka. Well, the country saw its most violent day in recent weeks as Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa quit from his post, and clashes left at least 5 dead and over 100 injured. Now, calls for President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to step down are now growing stronger. A nationwide curfew is in place until Wednesday, and the army has been deployed in Colombo. Right on the broadcast, we have freelance yoga teacher who's based in Colombo, Serena, joining us to give us a sense of the atmosphere in Colombo. Serena, I want to get a sense of the atmosphere where you are at the moment. Do you have access to essentials like groceries? Are you still witnessing long power cuts? Give us a sense of the current prevailing perception of the Rajapaksas as well.
Okay, so we are experiencing power cuts. They seem to be less than before. So we're getting maybe 4 hours a day instead of 10 hours a day. There are queues for petrol consistently. We can never get petrol without queuing. We haven't had gas in our home now for the last 2 or 3 months. It's been impossible to get gas. Food shortages, I think it's just more that there is the cost of living has gone up immensely. So as somebody who's kind of not a daily wage earner, we're still managing to feed our family. But I think it has got more and more and more difficult for people who don't have steady incomes and things like that. The feeling in the country, as far as I'm aware, is that the people are keen to have the Rajapaksas out. We're hoping for a brighter future with different leadership. And up until yesterday, all the protests were peaceful. Yesterday was sort of unprecedented, and I'm hoping that the reaction to what happened yesterday is a one-off, and that violence won't sort of continue now, and we'll be able to find some sort of stability again after the events of yesterday.
Right, Serena, you also mentioned the cost of living has gone up, but I want to pick up on the fact that you said there's been no gas. How exactly are you cooking then?
So we're in the lucky position of having an induction cooker. So when we're not experiencing power cuts, we can plug that in and we have one thing to cook on. But I know many people are cooking on firewood now, which is not great for the environment either. It's a pretty desperate situation that I feel is going to get worse. We haven't really got an economic solution yet to this crisis, and it feels like there's sort of lots of angles that we have to look at this from. So there's the political angle, there's the socio-economic angle. It's whether we're going to get help from other countries, all sorts of factors involved here.
Right, picking up on that, critics say the roots of the crisis lie in economic mismanagement by successive governments that created and sustained almost a twin deficit, a budgeted shortfall alongside a current account deficit.
That definitely is a factor, and it's the factor that most people here are upset about, is that they feel that there's been this gross mismanagement.
All right. Also, Serena, Sri Lanka has a lucrative tourism industry. Would you say things have drastically changed now?
I think things anyway had changed with COVID, and it felt like we were just getting back on our feet after those 2 difficult years. And then obviously people become nervous to come to a country where they know they're going to experience long hours of power cuts, and I guess the holiday isn't quite the same if the country isn't functioning normally. Having said that, I am aware that tourists are still coming here, which is a great benefit to our country. And despite the issues in Colombo, I think places in the tourist areas have been managing to look after people very well.